Hey everyone, this is Gaston again from Easy Software Developer, and today I'm going to talk about myself. So, I think that sharing your journeys is very valuable, and if it can inspire someone to keep pushing or to do something about their lives, then I think that we should all share different things about our journeys. So, I'm going to do that today. I am going to try and shorten it because there are a lot of things that happened, but I will start in 2011. So let me put you guys where I was in that moment. So at that moment, I had just dropped out of high school to start a vocational IT school, and I had some experience with Photoshop, assembling computers, and that was it. So I got started and we started learning Pascal and VB6, and I got really excited about VB6, Visual Basic 6. So this was before we were using Visual Basic.net or any of the .net stuff. So I remember building this really pimped out calculator with like a nice splash screen and a wooden background and all of these things. And I went to show my programming teacher because we had different subjects, but I went to show my programming teacher. My programming teacher took a look at the code that I wrote, and he just stared at me and he said, "This is not programming." And I really admired this teacher, and that's why I was doing this extra. Like, this was just something that I wanted to do on the side, you know? And I was like, oh, this teacher, like, I gotta show it to him. So I showed it to him, and he tells me that I was devastated. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean this is not programming? I mean, it works. And of course, my code was terrible, but just to hear that from him was so crushing. And in that moment, I could have done two things, right? I could have gone one way and say like, okay, I'm not a good programmer. I'm not smart enough for this. I'm not going to do anything. But what I did was, as soon as he said that, after the shock went down, I just looked at him and I thought, I'm going to show you what's programming. And that was my mission for the entirety of that course. And I'll tell you how it ended in the end. So that course continues. And in that year, one of my cousins, he was also moving to the UK, to the United Kingdom, to study. And that was the first time that I was like, oh, it's actually possible to go study abroad. And, you know, you don't need to have a scholarship. You just apply and maybe you can make it to study abroad. So by seeing him, and I'm 100% sure that if I hadn't seen him and I hadn't seen him do it, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it myself. So seeing him do it pushed me to do it, and also made me believe that I could do it, because it's my cousin. I mean, if he can do it, I can do it. That's when I started searching for universities everywhere, and I mean everywhere. So for the next 3 years, I was searching for universities in Sweden, Finland, Italy, and I was applying for all of these. Italy, Finland, Sweden, Portugal, Malaysia, Brazil, United States, the UK, of course. And I was applying for all these places. Like, I know all the legislations like from by heart, you know, and sometimes they would accept, sometimes they wouldn't. Oh, Germany as well. Sometimes they would accept, sometimes they would reject me. But those that would accept, and then I had to get a visa, for example, for Finland, and then I went to the embassy and I said, hey, I need to get a visa to go do an entrance exam in Finland. And they declined the visa because they can't give a visa for an entrance exam. I needed to say that I'm going there for tourism or something. So it was a very convoluted and tricky situation, but I just kept going. So by my third year, while I was trying all this, that was when I had to graduate from the vocational school. And at this point, by my third year, let me put you where I was. So I had done the Cisco CCNA course already, and these were all things that I was doing on the side. I was certified by Cisco internationally. I taught a class of Cisco, which I was like 15, guys. I was like 15, 16 years old, and I had to teach this class of like 35-year-olds, 40-year-olds, like people that are professionals and they're working in the field, and their companies are just paying for that. And I'm there like little Gaston, teaching them how to work with iOS, not iOS from the phone, but iOS for network equipment management. So I did that. I also taught web design. So I did some web design and web development courses on the side as well. And then that school also hired me to work there. And then after that, on my third year, when I was about to graduate, I made sure, remember that teacher that told me that my code was in programming? I made sure that he was my supervisor, my mentor, so that he could approve my last assignment, because the last assignment I built a whole system and I wrote the report and everything, and it was amazing. I think it was a ticketing system. I wrote all that, and he gave me the highest mark that anyone had, and I was the best student of that class that year. But imagine, guys, I was the best student there. He gave me the best mark, and this guy still has the balls to come and tell me, like, yeah, you got the best mark, you're the best student, I even got an award, but you're still not the smartest person in this class. Like, there's this other guy that is smarter than you. I'm like, dude, I don't care. You signed this. I won. So after that, since I hadn't gotten accepted to any university at that point, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta do something. Do I start working? Do I go to a university here? So I decided to start going to a university just temporarily. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start studying here, and if I get accepted, I just drop this and I go. So in that year, I started working for a company as well, and while I was studying as a web developer. And guys, I could not charge them. They wanted to pay me, but it felt so weird for me to charge someone to program, because I was just doing it as a fun thing. I got paid for my teaching jobs and everything, but I was like, I'm not a developer. Why would you pay me to be a developer? Don't do that. If somebody wants to pay you, accept it. So I started working at this company, and I remember that the owner of the company, he went to study in the US, and then he came back to Mozambique, and he started this company. And when I told him that, hey, I'm also trying to go abroad and everything, the guy's like, oh no, you shouldn't. You're gonna go there and then you're gonna come back. It's not good. You should just stay here. But I did not care. That was my goal. That is what I wanted to do, and that is what I wanted for my life. And there was no way that anyone was gonna take that off my mind. So like, laser focused, the same way right now I'm laser focused on my goals. So I was working there and doing university and still applying here and there. And then I finally got accepted for university here in the Netherlands. And after I got accepted to the university in the Netherlands, of course, I had to arrange everything and make sure that I go there, and like within a few days, everything needed to be prepared. And then I finally flew to the Netherlands, and it was amazing. The first time that I was in Europe, insane. Everything was new, everything was different, really tough to be far from home. Luckily, I came here with my best friend, so we always had each other, especially in the early days. And when we arrived, it was just a completely new place. We were super happy that we're here, but of course we're super far from home. So that's when I started university here. My first year was great. It was really nice meeting a lot of new people, and all that programming knowledge actually allowed me to enjoy my life here a lot more. So I managed to do the university in 3.5 years because of the work that I had done before. Then I was able to shorten it by being a student assistant at the university. So I was helping other people with programming, and then I got extra credits and made me finish earlier, which was great because it was very expensive, especially coming from Mozambique. You have to pay 3 times as much as someone that lives here in Europe. So it was very tough, but yeah, it was nice to finish. And in the meantime, I also had some jobs here, some programming jobs here and there, because I already had the experience. And when I graduated, finally, after amazing years at university, I started working at the company that I'm working in right now. And I started off as a developer, and now I'm more of a developer / Scrum Master, which I really enjoy. But yeah, that's where I am right now. And of course, there's a lot of things that happened. And what I would like for you guys to take away, you watching right now, to take away from this is if you set your mind to a goal and you know that that's the thing that you want for your life, just keep going for it. Because if you give up, there's not gonna be anyone else around you that is gonna be telling you like, hey, you should do it, you should do it. And also, if you push, this is something that happened with my parents and my siblings. They saw that I was really pushing for what I wanted, and that just kind of brought them along and helped me out to be able to fulfill those dreams. So you need to be the one that is rooting for yourself and that is pushing for it. So whatever you want to do, you want to get a job, you want to study abroad, you want to work for Microsoft, you want to work in a space agency, any of these things, if that's your goal, if you know that that's where you want your life to go to, focus on it and keep going. Another thing that maybe you can take from this is, earlier on I had a lot of problems with my confidence in thinking that, okay, what's gonna happen when I arrive there in the Netherlands? Like, are these people gonna be writing some wild code that I don't know about, you know? And can I do it? I mean, this is something that Europeans and Americans do. I couldn't do it. I'm just little Gaston from Mozambique. And one of the things that you should take away from this is that you can do it. Like, you need to believe that you can do it. Anyone can do it. When people say anyone can do it, anyone can do it. So you need to believe that yourself in order to be able to do it. So it's very important, and it's a really big mindset shift that I had that has helped me a lot in just going for things and believing that, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. So that's a brief explanation of my story. Of course, there are many little anecdotes here and there that I hope to share. I might share some of them on my Instagram as well. But if you have any questions about my journey, about myself, and if you just want to have a chat, just put a comment down below or go to my Instagram. You can book a free meeting with me, and then we just discuss about what you're going through right now and what would you like to improve in your programming and things like that. Or if you just want to chat, that's also fine. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you on the next video. Until then, I've been Gaston.